Hi there, I'm just getting all set up now for the Facebook Live. And let's see, I think we're good to go. All right, so welcome to the Nutritional Therapy Association's Facebook Live. My name is Janelle Johnson Grove, and I am one of the lead instructors with NTA. I see NTA has jumped on. Hi, Jasmine, glad you could be here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and share a few things about myself and about the program. And then if you have some questions, I am going to take those at the end. So first of all, I thought it would be interesting for you to hear a little bit about myself and why I ever even wanted to go into the Nutritional Therapy Association program, because even though I'm a lead instructor now, there was a time that I was a student. And I went back into the program, I think it was 2010. At that time, I was very interested in nutrition and wanting to learn about eating well, and I was experimenting with a lot of different food habits and food lifestyles. And as time went on, that passion and interest in food grew even more, and I wanted to encourage others and help others with their food habits. But what became revelatory to me was that I didn't know what somebody's body may need, because I realized something that worked well for me may not work for somebody else. So I really wanted to learn specific ways to discern and assess individuals for what their bodies might need on a nutritional level. And I was very passionate about addressing health issues from a nutrition standpoint, because I had experienced that in my own life with some of my health challenges and with my daughter's health challenges. Both my daughters had some low-grade health issues, and through nutrition alone, we were able to address those. So I continued on this quest to discern what can I do to learn these specific skills. So I began my search into different nutrition schools, and I looked and compared, and the Nutritional Therapy Association won me over far and large between anything else. And the reason was it was so scientifically grounded and very in-depth into the various body systems that would then reveal symptoms. And I wanted to learn that. So I went ahead and I became a student, and Caroline Behringer, who is also one of our instructors, was my instructor at the time. And then when she was sharing and her passion for food and our way of articulating the concepts fueled me and inspired me to such a degree, I thought that is something that I would like to do someday. So I graduated in 2011. Then I continued the next year to be a group leader to support the class. And parallel to that, I started to do my own business. So I'm located in Cincinnati, Ohio, and I wanted to figure out how I could do work here. So during that time, I started my business, which is called Sage Fire Wellness, and started working to support individuals and doing educational pieces with different groups. So I continued on my personal path with my Sage Fire Wellness, and I continued on the track with the Nutritional Therapy Association. And then took a year off so I could really focus on Sage Fire Wellness and helping clients and support individuals in their health journeys. But what happened was, as I was helping individuals with discerning food protocols and various ways to balance their systems, I noticed that there was such an emotional component to the needs that would arise, or that would be barriers to implementing those changes. So I went on and I did some further study with the Institute for the Psychology of Eating, because I really wanted to understand that mind-body connections, so that we could dialogue about, work through those emotional pieces that are so key to translating to how we eat and how we live our life from day to day. So that made a huge influence in the work that I did with clients, and offered some new insights and strategies to address those different areas. Then to move forward a little bit, I continued on as an associate and an intern, and now here I am as a lead instructor, and I teach both the NTP and the NTC programs. And I want to share about those now because they're two different programs that NTA offers, and I love them both. And there's some commonalities, and then there's also some unique differences between the two. So if you're watching this, maybe you're thinking about signing up for the course now or in the future, and you're not sure which one to take. I'll share a little bit about those that might help with your discernment process. So the first the curriculum, there's a lot of core content that is within both programs that really help you understand the various systems within the body, how they function, how they look when there is dysfunction going on, and so forth. And then there are some differences in the curriculum that enhance the various strategies that each are cultivating in the student who is attending. So in the Nutritional Therapy Practitioner program, in that is the functional evaluation and the lingual neural testing process. So that's a hands-on practitioner tool that you can use to, through hands-on body assessment, learn to discern what the body is needing as far as nutrients, and to gather information to discern where there is imbalance and dysfunction, so that you get this in the moment, real-time understanding about what is happening with an individual's body. And that piece, combined with other assessment tools, that's one piece of a bigger puzzle that we look at, is a very unique skill set and is really the gold in the NTP program that individuals who graduate from can then go and utilize that to work with their clients and support them in very bio-individual ways, because you understand right then and there what that person's body is saying and needing. And then you can create and customize a protocol, food, supplement, lifestyle based on that unique piece. Now that I'm pulling out one slice of a lot of pieces in the NTP program, but that's one to highlight as a contrast between the NTP and NTC. So the second program I teach that I also love is called the Nutritional Therapy Consultant Program. Now this one is different in the structure, where that one is, the NTC program is 100% online virtual program, where the NTP I didn't mention is virtual plus the in-person 3 workshop program. So going back to the NTC, as I stated earlier, there's that core curriculum that's also in this program that offers the understanding of the various systems. And then there is such an emphasis on the client work, and especially using the food and culinary skills to address and support the various symptoms, the bio-individual imbalances that go on with the clients that we serve, so that we can help support them and bring them back to that homeostasis that is their true right, and that vitality that we long for them to have and that they long for too. So it's really food focused, and the nutritional therapy program is food focused too. I see it come out in this different and unique, rich way in the NTC program. And you can work much more with the remote clients or international clients and bringing in that culinary skill. So they're both very lovely programs, and the NTA website goes into detail more with that, but to just give you a little highlight of each, so that I know with either one you wouldn't be disappointed. And then when I have NTC students are like, oh, but I want to learn these things about the NTP program, and then my NTP students are like, oh, I want to learn these things about the NTC program, because there's such a longing and excitement for the content in both of them. Now I want to talk a little bit about what you're learning in general in the NTA program when you're learning to become a practitioner or a consultant. That what you're trained to do is not to diagnose as individuals in the medical field do. And we really don't work with treating symptoms directly when clients come into us. What's so unique about this program is that we work and strategize and perceive the clients that come to us at this foundational level. What we're doing is we're looking at the core symptoms in the body that are out of balance, and we ask, why are they out of balance? That's leading to the expression of those symptoms that they have that brought them in the first place. So when we target support for individuals, we're not just putting Band-Aid approaches on the symptoms that are annoying or disturbing them from day to day with a supplement or a quick remedy. Instead, we're looking at, well, why is this symptom flaring up and showing up? We look deeply and address things, support things at this foundational level so that we can help clients bring things back to balance and homeostasis, which then has the ripple effect into the symptoms that came into there originally. So it's a really different kind of strategy when you're working with folks and getting to that core level that is very unique in the health field. And one that I love. It involves a lot of inquiry, and it's like a treasure hunt and a journey. Every client is so unique. So for example, if somebody comes in with allergies or hot flashes, let's say, 2 or 3 people could have that same symptom, but the reasons why at a core level could be very different for one versus another as to why it's being expressed. And the skills you learn in the program really help you with that discernment process so that you can get to the root issue about what is going on. I also wanted to share, so that's the NTA and what it's offering in their courses, just a snapshot. I also wanted to share for me as an instructor, if you're in my upcoming May classes, I'm teaching, I'm finishing up some, and I'm going to be teaching the May NTP class in Philadelphia. And I'm also teaching the May NTC class, which is the virtual class. So personal approach and nuance that I bring to the classroom, that's kind of just a theme weaved out throughout the curriculum, is in a couple layers. The first layer is I'm really bringing in that mind-body connection and understanding that I alluded to earlier when I was learning that information for my business. So I bring that to the classroom and helping students look a little deeper to understand those connections between the clients that they're practicing within the program and what may be going on with this emotional, mental piece. Now, that is not the curriculum, and there's not a lot of explicit teaching to it, but it's a nuance that comes in and helps students with that other layer in addressing their client work. Let's see, I wrote down this other piece that I wanted to share too. Oh, in addition, what I do uniquely as an instructor is I help my students also really look at the internal terrain of what's going on inside of them and helping to cultivate their core, their centeredness, so that when they are graduate and enter the client consultation or the practitioner setting, that they have skills in order to stay grounded when nerves come up or a very stressful situation comes up, so that they have the tools to turn inward, get centered, keep the stress minimal, and know how to move through very challenging situations. And it's really a process so that students can tap in once they graduate to know and find what they intuitively know to support clients, rather than only looking to what the external curriculum talked about. So that's a really exciting nuance that I love to bring into the classroom and help cultivate that within my students. I wanted to share with you that if you're thinking about the program, that this is in your wavering, should I start in May or should I start in September? Let me encourage you, if money is a part of that decision-making process, that these upcoming May classes would be key to enroll now. And that's because the May classes The total is $5,400, but in the September enrollment, the tuition rate is going to go up to $5,900. So you'll save $500 if you join for these May classes. Also, to keep in mind that NTA has now offers this amazing payment plan. So if you don't have all that cash up front, that you can put $500 down and then pay in monthly installments until you've paid it in full. So if you're gonna do that, you need to register. The deadline for that payment plan option is this Friday, the 26th. So please don't delay. I want to say too, the classes, some are already closed. They're to capacity, but we do still have some rooms in various locations. So there's a Chicago location, a Philadelphia location, which is mine, Sydney, Australia, Vancouver, Washington, and the NTC program, the remote learning program, all have rooms still. So those are your available options. So I just want to speak to you a little bit about making this kind of decision for your growth. And a lot of times when it's time to make a choice that is about your growth and you really feel this internal sense that this is the program for you because it represents your next level of development, that something that may happen will be a part of your mind that will come up with a lot of reasons not to, such as, well, it's too much, I don't have the money, or, well, I am kind of busy, I'll wait till my schedule is freer, or I don't really know if it's the right decision. And I want to say that's a very natural part of a decision-making process, because when you're about to grow, when you're about to expand in your abilities and your presence in this world, what will happen, all these thoughts will come out of fear, because part of your mind is sensing that you are really about to grow, and it will come up with creative reasons why you shouldn't. So I want you to acknowledge that those are coming up, and at the same time, that's not who you want to be in the driver's seat of your growth. So if you have felt this calling to really move forward in your nutrition work because you have such a passion, either it's for your family or it's for some friends and colleagues in your world, or you have a really big vision to impact the world, then it is time to follow that calling. And those details will seem very small. As far as the money will come, I've seen it happen over and over. The time, there will be ways to do it. And all those reasons that seem like, oh, maybe you shouldn't, are really going to fall to the wayside. So I encourage you in this decision-making time to tune in, really center in what your heart is soul and telling you, make the decision from that space. And if it's a soul-aligned decision, then I guarantee you will be completely satisfied with this program. Yes, there'll be bumps and challenges, but your instructor team, I know every single instructor, so whether you're with me or another, they are phenomenal, and they are going to support you in the amazing journey ahead. Well, that is what I had to share today, and I'm just going to pause and see if there's any questions for individuals that are participating. I see a handful of folks, and thank you for joining, for those of you that were able to join live. So I'll pause in case there is, because I know sometimes there's a delay. Otherwise, we will wrap it up here, and I'll leave you to your day. All right. And then NTA, I know that you're on here too. If there are any points that you wanted me to address, please let me know, because I think I covered them all, but I'm happy to highlight anything else. Otherwise, we've been on here a good almost 20 minutes, so. All right. Okay, so here's a question. Thank you. Can you give us an idea of how in-depth our classes? For example, for anatomy and physiology, what is the class equivalent to compared to a university program? So thank you for that question. So the anatomy and physiology, there is one module that's dedicated to anatomy and physiology, and we do have an anatomy and physiology book that is quite in depth, and medical professionals use them as well. Now, I will say that book is used more like a reference material within this course. And you're exposed to and read from it for each module that discusses a certain system within the body. So it's on the one hand, it's an overview, and then we plug in at different points and go more deeply. Then when you get to different modules following that, let's say it's time to focus on the digestive system, there will be parts of that anatomy and physiology book that you'll read so you understand each of the organs that are a part of the digestive system, the hormonal communication within that system, the structure, how it's functioning, and how it's made up. And then as far as what you need to commit to memory, there's varying levels of that depending on the module. Some are much more grounded in that anatomy and physiology because you have to know what you're talking about with the different organs and how they're functioning so that you can support them. And then and others are more surface level. So if you don't know it all at the top of your hand, it's not like a medical class, but you will be asked to learn some anatomy and physiology. I know you asked how does it compare to a university program 102 level. University programs are so different, so I don't have an exact comparison that way. But if you have a further question, I think you say your name Ludan. I appreciate that question. Then please do share that. Hi Marie, it's nice to see you here too. See some of my previous students on here. It's nice to see you and a few other instructors. Great. And I'll just wait because it's funny, there is this little bit of a delay. I'm checking my other Facebook here too. See if that shows up as well. All right. Let's see. Okay, I'm not. Thank you for the smiley faces. I saw an angry one. I hope that was something that was making you angry. If whoever did that wants to say, please let me know. Otherwise, yeah, thank you for all the hearts and love. All right, I'm not seeing any other questions here. I'm double checking. Okay. All right, well, I will wrap it up here. And if you do have further questions that come up, if you are not viewing this live and you're watching it later, put your questions in the comments section and myself or NTA will check in on it later and we can do some follow-up questions as the day goes on, because I know not everybody can make this time frame. But otherwise, thank you for joining. It's been lovely connecting with you here today. And I'll connect again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.